7 days. That is all it took for my home to stop feeling like something I was constantly losing a battle against. I am Keiko Nakamura. I am 72 years old. I was born in Osaka, and I am going to tell you something that might sting slightly. The reason your house is messy has nothing to do with how often you clean it. It has everything to do with how your home is designed to function, or more accurately, how it is not designed to function at all. I spent decades watching Western homes operate on pure reaction. Something gets messy, someone cleans it. Something gets messy again, someone cleans it again. An exhausting, infinite loop that produces tired people and houses that never quite feel right. Japanese homes break that loop entirely, not with more effort, with smarter architecture of daily life. I tested 15 of these habits rigorously for 1 week, documenting what changed. Some results were practical, some were deeply unexpected. All 15 are here, and we are moving quickly. Habit 1. Establish a home for every single object before it enters your house. This is where everything begins. In Japan, an object without a designated home is not yet allowed to live in your house. Before a new purchase is brought inside, its permanent location is decided, not approximately, precisely. Which shelf, which drawer, which corner. This sounds extreme until you understand what it prevents. Every object currently cluttering your surfaces is there because it never received a proper address. It is homeless inside your home, and homeless objects migrate. They pile, they multiply visually until your entire living space feels chaotic. I spent day 1 of my experiment assigning permanent homes to everything I owned that lacked one. Objects that could not find a logical, specific home were placed in a box for donation review. The process took 4 hours. By evening, every remaining object had an address. The next morning, tidying took 6 minutes instead of 40. Habit 2. The pre-mess interception. Japanese households practice what I call pre-mess interception. They identify the 3 or 4 specific locations in their home where mess consistently accumulates, and they redesign those locations to make mess structurally impossible. In most homes, mess concentrates predictably. The kitchen counter beside the door, the chair in the bedroom, the bathroom ledge. These are not random. They are design failures. Locations where objects land because no better system exists. I identified my 4 chronic mess zones. The kitchen counter near the entrance, where everything arriving from outside was deposited. The bedroom chair, functioning as a secondary wardrobe. The bathroom shelf, crowded with products competing for space. The hallway floor, where shoes multiplied daily. For each zone, I created an intercepting system. A small keyed hook rack immediately inside the kitchen entrance. A single designated hook behind the bedroom door for tomorrow's clothes. A tiered bathroom caddy lifting products off the shelf entirely. A 2-person shoe rack at the hallway entrance with a strict 2-pair per person rule. Mess in those 4 zones dropped to nearly 0 within 48 hours. Not because I was cleaning more, because the locations could no longer accumulate mess by design. Habit 3. Soji, the daily 10-minute non-negotiable. Soji is the daily cleaning practice found in Japanese schools, businesses, and homes. Not weekly, not when things look dirty. Daily, without exception, without negotiation. 10 minutes, every morning. Same sequence, same rooms, same order. The consistency is the entire point. Mess never reaches a level that requires serious effort because it is addressed at its earliest, smallest stage every single day. A surface wiped daily never develops the built-up grime that requires 20 minutes of scrubbing weekly. I implemented a strict 10-minute morning soji sequence for 7 days. Bathroom surfaces, kitchen counter, floor sweep of main living areas, quick cushion straightening, 10 minutes total, timed. By day 4, the 10 minutes felt generous. There was simply less to address because the previous 9 days of soji had already addressed it. The cumulative time saved over 1 week compared to my previous cleaning pattern was approximately 2 hours and 20 minutes. Same cleanliness level, dramatically less total effort. Habit 4. Vertical storage thinking. Western storage thinks horizontally. Things spread outward across surfaces and floors. Japanese storage thinks vertically. Things rise upward, stacked, hung, elevated, using wall space and height that horizontal thinking ignores completely. I looked at my kitchen and counted the vertical space I was not using. Approximately 60% of available wall height was empty, while my counters and lower cabinets overflowed. I installed 3 simple, wall-mounted magnetic strips for knives and metal utensils. I added 2 hooks to the inside of cabinet doors for measuring cups and small tools. I placed a vertical plate rack inside a cabinet, converting a space that held 4 items horizontally into one holding 14 vertically. Counter space increased dramatically. Items became more accessible, not less, because they were no longer buried under other items. Vertical thinking does not require renovation. It requires only a shift in perspective about which direction your storage should grow. Habit 5. The wet zone, dry zone separation. This is one of the most practically powerful habits Japanese bathrooms employ, and it translates directly into dramatically less cleaning. Japanese bathrooms maintain strict separation between wet zones, where water genuinely belongs, and dry zones, where everything else lives. Products, towels, clothing hooks, storage all remain in the dry zone. The wet zone contains only what is actively used with water during bathing. In most Western bathrooms, everything mingles together. Products sit beside the sink collecting moisture rings. Towels hang near the shower, accumulating humidity. This creates the constant mildew, the perpetual soap scum, the bathroom that needs scrubbing every single week. I reorganized my bathroom according to wet and dry zone logic. Every product moved to a shelf unit outside the direct splash and humidity radius. Towels moved to hooks on the wall opposite the shower. The actual wet zone contained only my soap dispenser and shampoo, both hanging from shower caddies that drip dry completely between uses. The result after 7 days was a bathroom that required wiping surfaces once, lightly, with a dry cloth, no scrubbing, no mildew smell, no moisture rings. The separation had eliminated the conditions that create bathroom mess rather than simply cleaning up after them. Habit 6. Fabric discipline. Japanese homes use far fewer fabric items than Western homes, and the ones they use are strictly controlled in terms of quantity and placement. I counted the fabric items in my living room alone: 11 throw pillows, 3 blankets draped over furniture, 2 rugs overlapping, 4 decorative fabric items of unclear purpose. Each item was a dust collector, a wrinkle generator, a weekly washing obligation. Japanese living rooms typically contain 1 rug, precisely placed, 1 throw blanket, folded and stored when not in use, cushions in a number that matches the seating, no decorative excess. I reduced my living room fabric to these proportions. The immediate visual effect was striking. The room appeared larger, cleaner, and somehow more intentional. The dust in the room measurably decreased because there were fewer surfaces for it to settle on. Weekly fabric-related cleaning tasks reduced from approximately 45 minutes to under 10. Fewer fabrics does not mean less comfort. It means less maintenance for the same amount of comfort. Habit 7. The closed container principle. Open shelving is a design trend that creates relentless cleaning work. Every open surface collects dust. Every visible collection of objects creates visual noise. Every uncovered item is one more thing your eye must process and your duster must reach. Japanese storage strongly favors closed containers, closed cabinets, closed drawers, lidded boxes, enclosed systems. What you cannot see cannot create visual mess. What is enclosed cannot collect dust at the same rate as open shelving. I replaced 3 open kitchen shelves with 2 cabinets with doors. I replaced an open bathroom shelf unit with a mirrored cabinet. I replaced open decorative baskets with lidded storage boxes of the same size. Dusting time in those areas dropped by roughly 70%. The rooms looked cleaner continuously because closed surfaces simply do not show the accumulation that open surfaces do. The shift required minimal investment and produced maximum ongoing cleanliness with minimum effort. Habit 8. The entrance ritual. In Japan, the transition from outside to inside is treated as a genuine ritual, not merely a physical threshold. Shoes come off, outer layers are assessed for storage or hanging, bags are placed in designated spots, and the mind shifts from the pace of outside to the order of inside. This ritual matters practically because it prevents the outside world from being tracked through your home. Dirt, debris, and outdoor chaos stop at the entrance rather than migrating through every room. I implemented a strict entrance ritual, shoes removed immediately and placed in the entrance rack, jacket hung on the designated hook, bag placed on its hook beside the jacket, keys in the ceramic bowl on the entrance shelf. Nothing proceeds past the entrance until it has been properly processed. Within 3 days, the interior of my home was noticeably cleaner simply because significantly less outdoor material was entering it. The floors required less sweeping. The carpets required less attention. The entrance ritual was the most upstream intervention I made, stopping mess before it began rather than addressing it after it spread. Habit 9. Shinyu cleaning, the friend system. Shinyu cleaning is an informal Japanese practice of inviting a trusted friend to assess your home with fresh eyes on a semi-regular basis, not to judge, to see what you have stopped seeing. We all develop blindness to our own environments. The stack of books that has occupied the corner for 8 months becomes invisible to you. The collection of bags hanging from the door handle registers as normal. Clutter habituates, meaning your brain stops flagging it as something requiring attention. A fresh pair of eyes does not have this habituation. They see everything. I asked my neighbor to walk through my home and simply tell me what she noticed. Within 10 minutes, she had identified 6 items that had been invisible to me for months. A collection of expired coupons pinned to my refrigerator. A broken lamp I had stepped around for 3 weeks without consciously registering it as something to address. 4 coats hanging in the entrance that I wore a total of perhaps once per year combined. The Shinyu system does not require criticism or judgment. It simply restores the fresh perspective your own eyes have lost. Use it every few months. It is one of the most powerful free tools available for maintaining a genuinely tidy home. Habit 10. Temperature-controlled cleaning scheduling. Japanese homes align cleaning tasks with natural temperature and humidity rhythms rather than working against them. Glass and mirrors are cleaned on dry, low humidity days when streaking is minimal. Deep floor cleaning is done in warmer months when surfaces dry faster and ventilation is easier. Fabric items are washed when strong sun is available for outdoor drying. Working against natural conditions makes cleaning harder and produces worse results. Working with them makes the same tasks faster and more effective. I began scheduling my weekly cleaning tasks according to weather forecasts. Glass cleaning on dry days only, laundry on sunny days with outdoor drying, heavy floor cleaning when windows could remain fully open for rapid drying and ventilation. The tasks did not change. The sequencing did, and the results improved while the effort required decreased. This is the essence of cleaning intelligently rather than cleaning harder. Habit 11. The negative space audit. The Japanese concept of meaningful negative space, applies directly to home organization in a practical way that goes beyond aesthetics. Every shelf and surface in a Japanese home maintains deliberate empty space, not because there is nothing available to fill it, but because that emptiness serves a function. It gives the eye a place to rest. It signals that the space is under control. And crucially, it provides room for life to happen without immediately creating overflow. A shelf filled to capacity has no resilience. The moment anything additional arrives, it overflows. A shelf at 70% capacity absorbs new arrivals naturally, allowing them to be properly sorted and addressed without creating immediate visual chaos. I conducted a negative space audit of every surface and shelf in my home. Anything above roughly 70% capacity was reduced until breathing room existed. The visual effect was immediate and dramatic. The practical effect was that my home maintained its appearance through the natural ebb and flow of daily life without requiring constant intervention. Habit 12. Sound as a cleaning signal. This habit surprised me with its effectiveness. In Japan, certain sounds function as automatic cleaning triggers. The sound of the kettle finishing becomes the signal to wipe the kettle and surrounding counter. The sound of the shower shutting off becomes the signal to squeegee the shower wall. The flush of the toilet is followed immediately by a brief wipe of the seat and handle. Sound-triggered habits require no willpower, no reminders, no scheduling. The sound fires automatically, the micro-habit follows automatically, and surfaces are maintained at their cleanest state continuously. I paired 5 sounds in my home with 5 corresponding micro-cleaning actions. Within 3 days, these pairings felt entirely natural. Within 7 days, they felt automatic. The surfaces involved became noticeably and consistently cleaner than they had been under any previous cleaning schedule. Habit 13. The overflow box system. Japanese organizational philosophy includes a structured approach to the inevitable overflow that life produces. Rather than allowing overflow to spread across surfaces, a single designated overflow box per room contains it. When something enters the room without an immediate home, it goes into the overflow box, not onto the nearest surface. The overflow box is reviewed and cleared completely once per week. Nothing remains in an overflow box for longer than 7 days. If it cannot find a proper home within that time, it leaves the house entirely. I placed a small attractive box in each of my 4 main rooms. For the first week, these boxes collected all the homeless objects that previously landed on surfaces. On day 7, I reviewed each box. Some items found proper homes. Several revealed themselves as objects with no genuine purpose in my life and were donated. The surfaces in all 4 rooms remained clear for 7 consecutive days for the first time I can recall. The overflow boxes did not hide the mess. They contained and scheduled it, which is an entirely different and far more effective outcome. Habit 14. The weekly reset hour. Distinct from daily soji, the weekly reset is a 1-hour dedicated session addressing what daily habits cannot fully reach. Inside drawers, cabinet interiors, floors beneath furniture, appliance surfaces, the weekly reset prevents the slow accumulation of deeper disorder that daily surface habits cannot address. 1 hour, weekly, same day, same sequence. Not cleaning out of reaction to visible mess. Cleaning according to schedule, regardless of visible mess. This is the distinction between reactive cleaning and designed cleaning. I implemented my weekly reset on Sunday evenings. 1 hour, timed, covering interior storage and beneath surface areas. After 7 days, I had completed 1 reset session. What I found inside my drawers and cabinets suggested these areas had not been deliberately addressed in considerably longer than 1 week. The reset hour for those areas likely needs to occur several times before the accumulated disorder is fully addressed. But the system is now in place. Each week will improve on the last. Habit 15. Kansha, gratitude as a cleaning philosophy. The final habit is the one that holds all others together, and it is the one I was least prepared for. Kansha means gratitude. In Japanese homes, cleaning is not separated from appreciation. You clean your home because you are grateful for it. You maintain your possessions because you appreciate what they provide. You wipe a surface carefully because you respect the surface and the space it occupies in your life. This is not sentimentality. It is practical psychology. When you clean from obligation or shame, You do the minimum required to escape the feeling. When you clean from gratitude, you bring attention and care to the task that produces a fundamentally different result. I cleaned my kitchen on day 7 of this experiment with explicit gratitude as my frame. I am grateful for this kitchen. I am grateful for these surfaces, this sink, this light. The cleaning I did in that state was more thorough, more careful, and more satisfying than any cleaning I could recall doing from a state of reluctant obligation. The kitchen afterward felt different from any kitchen cleaning I had previously accomplished. Not because I used different products or techniques, because I brought a different quality of attention. What the week actually revealed. I expected cleaner surfaces. I did not expect the specific quality of calm that accumulated as the week progressed. By day 5, my home had stopped requiring conscious management. The systems were running, the habits were firing, the objects were in their homes. What I had not anticipated was how much mental energy I had been spending managing my environment without realizing it. That constant background processing, the awareness of things out of place, things needing attention, surfaces accumulating disorder, it had been running continuously for years. When the systems eliminated the disorder, that processing stopped, and the silence where it had been was remarkable. A house that never becomes messy is not a house that is cleaned more frequently. It is a house designed so that mess cannot take hold in the first place. 15 habits, 7 days. The difference between a home you manage and a home that works. That difference is available to everyone. It begins with whichever single habit on this list speaks most directly to the specific way your home currently fails you. Start there. The rest follows naturally.